Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got a video question from a participant of the online play shop, and I'm not actually totally sure what it is, so we're gonna hear it, and then maybe I'll paraphrase it and answer it. And if it's good, we'll keep it for YouTube. Let's see what he says.
What's happening, man? How's it going? Alright, so check it out. I'm really good at starting things. I think I'm good at stopping things. Only because I'm starting something else. Where things fall apart is the maintaining. If that makes any sense. Another way of looking at it would be taking something from the beginning to the end, as far as like a project for creating a product, say. So how would I apply some of this thinking, some of the way that you're saying, whatever, the body never lies, way of looking at things, to complete something. All right, later.
Okay, well, so the question is from someone who's having a hard time completing things, and it sounds like he's good at starting new projects, but not good at maintaining them, and he only stops them because he's starting something new. And my answer here is to back it up. Back up and look at what's going on based on the information that we know from the workshop. I don't know what video this person is on right now. So I'll just answer the question on the assumption that you will finish the video series and get this. But basically what's going on is you're starting a project and you're getting some distance into it and then feeling as if you've misstarted, or you started in a way that's got you on the wrong path, or that, if you do this other thing and start it correctly, that you'll actually finish it. That's an issue of feeling that maybe what you're doing isn't good enough, or maybe what you're doing isn't the result that you wanted. And so instead of failing, you go do something else and attempt to not fail on that. That's really all it is. And if you're willing to fail, then you can be willing to complete. And then when you complete, you'll probably realize that you didn't fail, and it's repeating that. Be willing to fail. Take your project through to completion, and then notice that you actually completed and didn't fail. Because that sense that you didn't do it enough, or it's not the right thing, or it's not what you wanted, or it's not going to have the impact you thought it would have, whatever the reasoning is, the reasoning is there to justify feeling that what you're doing isn't enough or isn't good enough. So look at that and realize that that isn't real. That isn't based on what you're actually doing right now. That's based on an ancient history. So complete. When you notice that what you're doing doesn't feel like enough, acknowledge it. Oh, this doesn't feel like enough. And then make it enough and finish. That's really all there is to it. And repeat that. Repeat having the sensation of being complete. And you know what? If you complete something and you need to evaluate it, that's the time to evaluate, right? And whatever you've completed, it's not that it's good enough or not good enough. It's that the end result is always perfect for the effort that you put into it. If you're not getting the end result that you desire, then change what you're putting into your project so that you can get a different result. And anyway, I hope that answers that question. Let me know if that works for you. Send in more videos. I love it. I did have another question via email I want to answer. This person said, how do I know what's obvious? And I thought, well, I'm always saying, notice the obvious. If you notice the obvious, you will be here now. And if you get confused about, well, what's obvious, what's obvious is whatever you are noticing. Whatever you are noticing is what is obvious to you. And what is obvious to you will be a little bit different than what is obvious to somebody else. That's the wonderful thing about so many people being here, is that all these different perspectives, we can all get a full picture if we actually interact and communicate about what's obvious to us. So don't worry about what might be obvious to other people. It's none of your business. What's obvious to you is the information that you have to work with, and that is the information that you work with. Any other information just isn't relevant to you. If it was, it would be obvious. You would notice it. So, any more questions from the live audience? Nope. Okay, well, I hope that's good. I hope that's helpful. Oh, you have a question?
Well, just following up on the obvious.
Yeah.
If it's so, I think if it's so obvious that you don't even notice it,
Right.
then
That's there's the obvious stuff that we ignore, right? And then our mind wants to figure out what's behind the obvious, or what's really going on. But that's where we get confused, and because we don't see, or we think we don't see, right, what isn't obvious, we reference our past, we look at our history to try to figure out what's going on, but that isn't being here now. That's being here then. That's pulling up information from the past and overlaying it to try to understand the world. Noticing the obvious means just observing and picking up what you pick up and not looking. Noticing is a low energy activity. So noticing is about letting information just come to us. It's different than hunting for what's obvious. And that might be where the confusion is. If we're not sure what's obvious or not, it's probably because we're hunting for it rather than just noticing and letting the information just simply come to us. Did that answer the question?
yeah, thanks.
Cool. Any more questions? Okay, viewers at home, send your questions in. Cool. Stop.